Live on your radio station. It's Real Talk Radio with Dan Lane.
All right, everybody. So things just couldn't get much worse for Kamala Harris at this point. We've had a pretty eventful last few days. The other day, she goes to Detroit, and of course, she's talking to people, and you have the pro-Gaza protesters there, and she shuts them down, waving that finger up, that black girl attitude, like, excuse me, I talk in here. I'm talking. Just shuts them down completely, and I kind of wonder how that's going to go over with her Jewish husband. Given where we are in politics, I expect to be at a grocery store and see a tabloid or a Newsweek or something like that written about it. Kamala's marriage is falling apart. Kamala's other half finds out how much dicks she sucked. And on top of it, her VP pick probably wasn't a good idea, considering the fact that he's a stolen valor asshole. There was a photo that leaked out of him at a ball game. He's wearing a Special Forces hat when he was nowhere near that coveted position at all. He was in the National Guard. And I know a ton of veterans are pissed off about that, so it just couldn't look any worse. On top of it, they posted two pictures. They had J.D. Vance on the right side holding, I believe it was an AR-15 pointing to the sky. And on the left side, you had old Tim holding a shotgun with his golden retriever, wearing his bright orange colored vest with the label sportsman on it. Oh, so I guess sports hunting is acceptable now to the left. I don't think you'll get any endorsements from PETA, and I'm pretty sure she's going to get backed into a corner and have to define what a woman is, and once she does that, the lunacy of the left will undoubtedly shake them out of the game entirely. But aside from that, Virginia just defortified. That's very interesting. So they're going back to the in-person, ID in hand, paper ballot voting that will be counted manually, and getting rid of those damn Dominion machines, which is what we should have done to begin with. I don't even know why we ever switched to voting machines. Plus, the cool thing about that is other states are following. Nevada's following. Certain parts of Arizona is going back to it, which is kind of odd. Alabama, I think, and a couple of others. Hopefully, this sets a precedent, and everybody says, you know what? In order to guarantee a free and fair election, we need to do it that way. No computer shit, no IT hacks, none of that. Let's go straight back to the paper ballots, in-person voting, same-day counting, and leave it at that. This should, for the most part, eliminate at least most concerns of cheating in the election, which if all states did that, it wouldn't be good for Kamala. She's polling worse than Hillary Clinton was in 2016. Trump is polling better than he was in 2016. So he definitely has the home field advantage. I don't think Kamala is going to help herself. Every time she opens her mouth, she says something outlandish, and people are like, what the hell did you just say? So on the left tried that, oh, the women are back in town, and they're coming with full force, and oh, vote for a woman. You had these same retarded white liberal women telling you were a white supremacist if you didn't vote for the woman president. That just goes to show you how desperate they are. And they know that they don't have a snowball's chance in hell, especially with Kamala Harris. Did you all forget that in 2020, she dropped out of the race embarrassingly after Tulsi Gabbard roasted her? And when she left, she had a 1% favorability rate. Now, all of a sudden, she's the queen of all. She's the forefront of all women. And this whole thing, their infatuation with this abortion issue, listen, it's out of their hands. I don't care what promise Kamala makes. And with everything that's going on in the country right now, we shouldn't even be worried about killing babies anyway. But I digress. The Supreme Court has already thrown it to the states. It's a done deal. The federal government doesn't want anything to do with it. And once upon a time, neither did the left. The left did not want the government involved in their right to choose honk honk bullshit, which is also a non-debatable issue when the same people were telling you that if you didn't get that death jab, you were going to lose your job. So pointing out the hypocrisy between the two has been rather fun. But I brought up the abortion issue because that's basically the totality of Kamala's platform. If you go to her campaign website, she doesn't really have a platform. That's pretty much it. The last I checked, it was abortion. That was like a high-ranking thing, which I don't even know why they're using that. Banning assault rifles and giving immaculate health care benefits to illegals, which just goes to show you that her job as border czar really paid off, didn't it? But no. Harris is pretty much done for. It's just creepy. You know, they like to use the word weird a lot. I'm going to say creepy. I'm going to go with creepy. You know, like this Tim Walz guy and Kamala Harris together. Every time, 8 out of 10 pictures that I have seen with them two together, they're like laughing maniacally and like coddling kittens and shit. It's just strange. I'm not going to say weird because the left seemed to have monopolized on that word. which I think is interesting coming from people that support grown men with long hair and beards demanding to use the women's restroom, but nevertheless, it's just a creepy lineup. Personally, I think Trump should just let her talk, but the problem is they're trying to keep her at bay, so he needs to be calling her out at every turn, because as I said in the previous video, the more people know about her, the less they're going to like her. The problem with the neo-libs is they don't know anything about Kamala. They're just voting for her because she's a woman. That's the only reason why they're voting for her. We have seen their takes on this time and time again, which I think we should start putting people through civics courses and making them pass a test before they vote, because we can't have just delusional voters out there, unqualified voters, as Socrates succinctly put it. But other than that, she's not likable at all. She hasn't done anything worth mentioning. She can go and talk about her awesome career days as a prosecutor, but she's going to fail in that department because all kinds of skeletons are going to come out of that. She's going to attack Trump's morals, I'm sure, and then her affair will get brought up. I mean, there's just really nothing that she can do. She doesn't have anything to brag about. She's been an absentee for the past 3.5 years. Suddenly, she's the forefront of all women. It's the insane power of the legacy media, man. They can really polish up a turd, can't they? But no, if things keep going in the way they're going, and I'm pretty sure they are, Trump is going right back to the White House. I mean, it looks like they're going to cover all their angles, cross the T's and dot the I's. We're going to vote the way they should be voted. And we need to get some kind of common sense back in the office, you know. I mean, Trump, there's reasons that I'm voting for him, mainly his policies. There are some things that he has done and said that I do not agree with, but by and large, he is far better than the alternative. And that's something that any rational voter should consider before they just go down there and start checking names. I don't know. What do you guys think? If you like this content, be sure to give it a like and a subscribe. Share it around with your friends. I try to do these shows at least twice a day. Sometimes I only do one a day, but I have adulting to do and shit.